Hello, testing, testing. Can everybody hear me? Hello. Yeah, enjoy work, Cletus. Wes, hope it's alright for you, mate. Hope you have a good shift. And hello, Roger. Yeah, I was hoping to stream earlier today, actually, but I couldn't get to it, unfortunately. So thought I'd go for the evening stream, at least from my point of view here in the UK. I'll probably only get an hour or so today. But I thought, hey, I haven't streamed for a few days, so it'd be nice to try and get back into it before the weekend. And then next week, hopefully, we can begin with a post-E3 week and start getting back into regular schedule in terms of streaming and stuff. Oh, well, that's fantastic. Good to know, Roger. And how are you doing this evening, matey? Well, I suppose it wouldn't be evening for you, but still, how you doing? I've been playing quite a bit of Final Fantasy XIV recently, actually. And I'm only level 25 as an archer. Or 27, actually, now. Best change that on the title. But I've been really getting into things with this game. Greetings, Dan, and P1. And yes, P1, Final Fantasy VII apparently is definitely coming. So, yeah, I was really surprised. Not necessarily at E3, since we already knew we were going to be getting information about the game from a few weeks before. But from that state of play thing, I was really surprised. Oh, what the heck? Oh, that thing's awesome. I want it. Yeah, I was really surprised about the fact that we're getting so much information on the remake. Because up until a few weeks ago, we were still in a state of complete limbo, weren't we? Not hearing anything about the game. So it's nice to see that Square have definitely pulled out all the stops, so to speak. And have just been sharing so much with us recently. And I'm certainly looking forward to seeing where things go over the coming months with that. So we'll be having a chat about all of that good stuff this evening through the stream, whilst I'm also completing some quests here. Incidentally, I was trying to get prepared for the upcoming expansion, Shadowbringers, which is out, I think, at the end of this month, start of next month. Though, unfortunately, that's not going to happen because I'm still only level 27 and I need to be level 70. And levelling is slow in this game, compared to World of Warcraft anyway. Hi, Nicole, David, and Daily Football News. Greetings. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, have you liked everything we've seen so far then, Roger, at E3? I'm sure you've checked it out by this point, haven't you? Let's just go and see on the map where we need to be for this quest. Just over here, okay? So I do also want to go back into the palace at some point as well, which I did, I think, on the last stream, since it was some good experience. No, it won't be turn-based combat, P1. Unfortunately, for those of us that enjoyed the original Final Fantasy VII wasn't really turn-based, was it? It was kind of a change on the turn-based formula, but it still had elements of that. Whereas the remake is going to have a tactical-based combat system mixed in with a more traditional, well, I say traditional by nowadays standards, Final Fantasy XV combat style as well. Although hopefully a little bit more refined than that, since I found that quite clunky. But the tactical elements look interesting. You get to pause all the gameplay in order to go through your abilities and select what you want to cast and when. We need to be heading up north here. One thing I'm really looking forward to, by the way, guys, is being able to get a mount in this game. I'm level 27 now and have been running around throughout this entire period from level 1. So I don't think it can be far off before we'll be collecting our own chocobo. Yeah, I've got to be honest, Roger. Yeah, thanks for the clarification, by the way, there. I've got to be honest. When I first heard about them going to an action-oriented combat system, I mean, this was a long time ago now, like 4 years ago, I think. I was a little bit nervous about it. I've come the wrong way. A little bit nervous about it because, well, you know, I like the traditional Final Fantasy combat systems. And then Final Fantasy 15, when I played that, that didn't really alleviate my concerns, I'll be honest, because I wasn't a big fan of the combat in that game. But from what I've seen this year at E3, in terms of the combat gameplay that they've shown and what have you, I've got to say I'm actually coming on board with it, and I'm enjoying, or I'm liking, I should say, not enjoying because I haven't played it, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. especially as I mentioned with that, not turn-based, but tactical-based elements as well. So that you still kind of get the original Final Fantasy VII combat in there, where you're selecting your limit breaks and your spells and abilities. But they've also said that's completely optional. That you can play with the tactical-based combat if you want, or you can just assign certain abilities to shortcuts and just stick to the action-based combat, which I think is a pretty good way of doing it. So that those that aren't really interested in traditional Final Fantasy combat don't have to use those systems, as long as you don't get the worst of both worlds, I guess, which is where you try and please everybody, so end up pleasing nobody type of thing. But from what I've seen, I don't think that's going to be the case. Just checking with your messages there, guys. Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is definitely one on the radar, Nicole. And Jedi Fallen Order, absolutely, yes. Some people said that the gameplay for that looked a little boring, but it did kind of look generic, but it still looked like a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to getting into it myself. That's September, is it? Or has there not been an exact month on that one? I'm not sure. Yeah, I've heard about the mounts, Dan, and I keep seeing people running around on them. And there's some pretty awesome looking ones as well from what I've seen. But, you know, not quite there yet. Follow the main story quests, Roger says, and you'll get your chocobo. Yeah, that's what I'm planning on anyway, mate. So I'm just going to the main scenario quests now. And hopefully, it won't be much longer. I'm level 27, but the quest I'm on's level 19. So I think it's a level 20 quest. So I don't think it's going to be that far away. But yeah, David, you saw that, did you? The Final Fantasy VIII Remaster announcement. They kind of snuck that in, didn't they, into the Square Enix presentation. I understand that they spent a lot of time with the Final Fantasy VII Remake. People have been waiting for that. But then just out of nowhere, there was like a 1 minute 30 second trailer with nobody announcing it, nobody talking about it. They just bung it in there as a video. And to be honest with you, that's what everybody seems to be talking about. Apart from the remake, of course. So, yeah. Although, in all fairness, Dave, a lot of those games are next year. But yeah, in terms of games to look forward to, then 2019 is certainly going to be a great year. Though some of the games, of course, will be coming out this year as well. Character name is Fuzz Finger Jason, as you can see there. And the server is this one up here. I can't pronounce it. Louis Sooks, something like that. And hey, Daily, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate that, mate. So, I would say it is, Isaiah. I am actually really enjoying my playthrough. And I know I'm only level 27, but I have played for quite a few hours now to get to this point. And I'm really getting into it, I've got to say. I'm looking forward to getting into the expansions as well, because I've heard that the game actually becomes a lot more fun then. But some of the systems that I've been playing with, such as the Palace of the Dead, have also been pretty darn fun as well. In fact, I might do something like that a little bit later, depending on how much time I've got. I think I'm on about floor 30 of that dungeon. You have to excuse me scratching my nose, guys. I think I've got some kind of allergy this evening. I was sneezing quite manically before the stream started, which is why I was a couple of minutes later starting. Okay, we need to kill these guys, do we? The Rotting Pikeman. Sounds pleasant. Okay, is that all of them? Guess we can speak to Orson now. So, yeah, I just saw that, Roger. Oh, okay, dude, you're following the 10-2 walkthrough. Yeah, I haven't finished that yet. I think I'm still in chapter 1, actually. So you'll probably catch up with me quite quickly. E3 kind of distracted me a little bit. So, got a bit of a ways to go with it. Yeah. Can he ask you something? Yeah, go for it. I think it's European server, Jason. I'd imagine it'd be... I don't think I chose what region, but I'm assuming it would have by default stuck me in some kind of European data centre, so... That's what I'm guessing anyway. Yeah, definitely, Brandon. I've already got plans to live stream the Final Fantasy VIII remaster. Let's teleport back here. Since I've already done a complete walkthrough for it, I don't feel the need to do another one. But I would still like to play the game and share those experiences with you guys, of course. So, yeah, I will be live streaming it. And when it comes to the Final Fantasy VII Remake next year, well, I'll probably just be pumping out content on that constantly. Live streams, uploads, because I'm really looking forward to getting into it. What's my favourite Final Fantasy? I would say Final Fantasy VII, mostly due to nostalgia, I'll admit that, because it was the first that I played back in the, well, when it was released, really. 97, was it, or 98? 97, I think. So, yeah, even to this day, I'd still call it my favourite. Though, honorary mentions to Final Fantasy 9, 10, 12 as well, 6, and even 8. Even though a lot of people aren't a huge fan of 8, a lot of people on my channel are, it seems, and I do like it as well. Yeah, David, you're right about that. I just saw your comment there. Final Fantasy X-2 is a cheese fest. Although it's a cheese fest right from the word go. So if you can make it past like the first hour and you're still playing, chances are you'll be able to get through the game if you haven't been put off by that bit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I am, Roger. EU server. Yeah, 97. Cheers, Daily. Ah, is Final Fantasy IX your favourite then? Would you say, because it's the first one you played, Isaiah? Or have you got another favourite in mind? Right, where are we off to next? I haven't actually been following the story, I'll be honest with you guys, for Final Fantasy XIV. I never really do when it comes to MMOs. I usually just whiz through and level up and stuff. It tends to be how I find myself having fun anyway. But a lot of people have told me you don't really need to get into the story so much for A Realm Reborn, and it's something you really do need to pay attention to more once you start getting into the expansions, but it's more fun then, I've heard. Is there any closer way to get there? No, I think we just need to run. Okay, so we're still on level 19 quests. Yeah, I just know the Chocobo quest is level 20. So we cannot be far off that now. My goodness, the main scenario quest in this game is huge. I think it has to take us to level 50. So, a long way to go yet. I'm a bit annoyed, actually. When I first started leveling this character, it was a preferred server, this one, which meant I got double experience for everything. But now it's not a preferred server, and I'm stuck on it, getting what feels like half experience. I know it's really the standard amount, but once you've received double XP, and then it's taken away from you, that's very mean, Square, I've got to be honest. I've never played Fire Emblem myself. A few people have mentioned it, though, on the channel. Oh, if you've not played Ni no Kuni before, Nicole, then yeah, I think the remastered version, or the Switch version, if that's what you get, which isn't remastered, is a great chance to really get into it. I think it will be for a lot of people. Since the first time that game came out, I don't think a whole lot of people really played it. And it is such a really good RPG, actually. It's a lot of fun. And the presentation of that game is, well, I'd say it's even leaps ahead of even the sequel, Ni no Kuni 2. So yeah, I think you'll like it. Yeah, well the thing is, Roger, Square did say, like way back in the day, that Final Fantasy X-2 was their way of trying to appeal to a more female demographic. Which is fine if they want to do that. But, I mean, do women really love cheese fests like that? Maybe they do, I don't know. but it just seemed like a strange way to go about it. But yeah, a lot of people despise 10.2 because of that form of presentation that was given. But if you can get past that cheese fest, then the actual game systems are actually quite addictive. The progression, which was completely changed from Final Fantasy X, it went back to a far more traditional job-based system. It's actually really addictive though, and there is a lot of fun to be had with it. Right, what are we doing here? Okay, well I can see a clue over there. No, I need to take a break from that, Jeremy. I wanted to get quite a bit of content out during E3, but now that E3's finished for a year, I need to put my feet up for a bit, if that makes sense. I did get a Final Fantasy VII video out, but I think that was enough for today. I don't want to annoy people too much. It's one thing during E3, but after that you need to calm down a bit. Hello, Nintendo girl. Welcome to the stream. And Thunder Dragon. Let me guess. That's Alice, correct? Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you're Alice. Right, oh, I've done what I need to do here. Yeah, trying to play Final Fantasy XIV and keep up with stream chat can sometimes be a recipe for disaster. But, hey, it all adds to the fun, I suppose, doesn't it? Alright, Daily, I'll check it out. Are you enjoying the live streaming, Alice? Assuming that you are Alice until you tell me. I've never played the online Elder Scroll. I did play Skyrim, but I never really got into it as much as everybody else seemed to. I could see it was a great game, but maybe every time I went to play it, I just didn't really have much time to really give it that it needed. So, it's one of those games that's still on the list. Elder Scrolls Online, I mean. Still on the backlog list, along with about 50 other games. Yeah, more than likely, Roger, when I carry on with Final Fantasy X too. Are you going to do that? I do like to try and get all the dress spheres and stuff. Ah, that's cool then, Thunder Dragon. Yeah, I thought you was. Right, we'll teleport back. Spend 100 gil. Has Elder Scrolls 6 been announced, has it? I heard rumours it was going to be. I might have missed out if it was, though. Like I said, a bit like you, Isaiah, I was never really into the previous games. Well, not 5 anyway. I don't think I really played the others. I must have put about 20 hours into Skyrim, but I'm sure those of you that are veterans of that game know that 20 hours is literally barely taking you out of the tutorial. Talking about Switch, pretty interesting about The Witcher 3 being announced for Switch. I mean, I don't think anyone really expected that, did they? The fact that it's only going to be 540 resolution and 720 is neither here nor there. The fact that it's coming at all, I think, surprised people. Where are we going? It must be underneath here. But it would be interesting as well, perhaps, if they brought the first 2 Witcher games as well to Switch. Since they're both pretty awesome in their own right. Ah, just need to sneeze. One sec, guys. I'll try and hide my face. I don't know what it is. I've really picked up on allergies this evening. We've had some nasty weather in the UK, actually. Lots of rain. So it's probably brought some of the stuff, like the bad stuff, down with it. Right, we're going under here. What is it we've got to do? Show the queer leaflet to Sister Orson. Oh, here we go. Nope, not in here. Right, here you go then, Orson. It's a very queer leaflet. Yeah, I used to have a Vita myself, Nicole. I wish I hadn't sold it, but I did do so, unfortunately, a few... I was going to say a few months, but I think it's a few years ago now. But the Vita was such a great console. It was a shame it never really got the love and attention from developers that perhaps it could have done. But it's interesting that Switch... I mean, Vita is obviously a portable device, and Switch is a portable device, but the Switch has been so much more successful, I guess because it's Nintendo, and Sony already had the PS4, and also Nintendo, of course, with the Switch, have made it so that you can dock it for TV mode, which I think most people actually play the Switch in TV mode more than portable mode, which I find quite interesting. I'm pretty sure with the stats that have been released about it, it's generally played more in TV mode than portable mode. Oh no, yeah. What's going on, David? It hadn't rained for 2 days, actually. I was getting worried we was about to have a drought. So, trust me, my mind's been put at ease about that today. We had hail and all sorts just pouring down on us. Yeah, it's been exceptionally bad. I've not had it much this year, Nicole. But just today, really, it started to pick up quite strongly. But I won't harp on about that. I'm sure you guys don't care about my allergies. Hiya, Black Cat. Thanks for stopping by in the stream. Oh no, I do regret that. I have still got my original PSP. I'll see if I can find that. One sec. I've got it somewhere. Yeah, I found it the other day. Don't know if you guys can see that. That is an original PSP from Japan, the very first model, which was about 8 months before it came out in the West. I wanted one so badly I imported it. And because it was the first model, I never ever sold it, and I've kept it since. But the problem is, it doesn't really play games very well anymore. Hiya, Wes. You been at work, mate? Are you at work at the moment, are you? Yeah. Let's go through this. I probably should start paying attention to the story. But like I say, I haven't been at the moment. Yeah, that's right, Thunder Dragon. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 is going to be on 2 discs. So that's the Midgar game. And then I'm not sure about what comes after that, to be honest. By the sounds of it, I don't even think Square are sure at the moment. Are we on? I want to get to level 20 quests, because then I know I'm close to my Chocobo. Oh, you've still got the original Atari 2600, have you? I never had Atari myself. Well, actually, I had Commodore 64, and pretty sure Commodore was either owned by Atari or Atari was owned by Commodore. I can't remember. Anyway, I did have a Commodore 64, but no longer. Right, why are these quests red? Speak with the locals while garbed. Oh, right, I need to put some clothes on, do I? How do I access? What is it I need to actually wear? While garbed in a weathered shepherd's tunic and a pair of weathered shepherd's slops. Okay. So is the tunic going to be here? Yeah. And some... What the heck are slops? Oh, there we go. Ah, that's more like it. Oh, I see, Wes. Are you on your own there this evening, are you? Yeah, that's true, Roger. But from what people have told me, I do need to pay attention to the story once I get into the expansions. I own all the expansions, by the way. I just went all out with this game and bought everything. And I am really enjoying it. But I still got quite a long way. I was hoping... I have bought Shadowbringers, but I was hoping to get there before the release date to level 70. But I don't think that's going to happen. Or is it level 60? 70, I think. Since, look, how long have I been playing today? And we're still the same level. Hardly actually done any experience at all. It's quite slow, this game, in terms of levelling up. But it's not so much about the levelling. It's more about completing the main scenario quest is what I'm really trying to do. Oh, you got a Commodore 64. Have you still got that, have you, Thunder Dragon? Oh, I really wish I'd kept some of these old systems that I used to have. I would have loved to have been able to get the Commodore 64 out now. But, obviously, that's not really an option. Yeah, I mean, the fact that the Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be on 2 Blu-ray discs, some people are wondering whether that's going to be like, is it Red Dead Redemption 2? Where you have an install disc and then a play disc? Or whether it's just going to be 2 play discs? It also makes me wonder if you purchase the digital version, just how big the download's going to be. Probably wouldn't surprise me if it's like 400 gigabytes or something. Nah, it's not going to be that much, that'd be ridiculous. Probably about 200 gigabytes or something. Get the feeling we're going to be going down. Are these up or down, do you think? Yep, looks like they're down. I don't know why I came all the way up here when everybody's going to be in the town. Let's just jump down. Take the full damage. Oh, okay, Roger. Would you say that the actual experience of those expansions is very similar to the experience of A Realm Reborn? Or are they a little bit different in terms of how they play? Because one of the things I would have liked to have seen, from what I've seen so far anyway, is perhaps a little bit more voice acting. Because outside of a few cutscenes, it just seems to be really sparse, which I always think is a little bit unfortunate in a story-driven game. But there we have it. Oh, how is your mum now, Wes? Sorry, dude, I should have asked earlier when you first came on. Yeah, that's a lot of systems you've got there, Thunder Dragon. Good collection. Oh, you Relic. Good to see you, mate. I'm glad I got to stream tonight, actually, because normally, obviously, I stream a little bit earlier on. But I couldn't make it. I did tell people I was going to stream today, so I didn't want to let you guys down. Yeah, if you haven't already, by the way, folks, feel free to stop by the Discord server that I've set up. And we do have some good conversations going on over there as well. Obviously, when we're not live streaming. Yeah, that's the impression I got as well, Roger. But could be wrong. Has anybody pre-ordered the first class edition of Final Fantasy VII? I was so tempted to do it myself, but I just couldn't justify it in the end because it was quite a bit of money. But I'd be really interested to know if anybody else has actually done so and what they think of it when they get their hands on it. Alright, we're just going over to the east. Well, that's good news then, Wes. Hopefully she feels completely better sooner rather than later. Keep us updated, dude, how she gets on. I've never really played Final Fantasy XI Black Cat, so I can't comment on that. And in terms of MMOs, the only other one I've really played a lot is World of Warcraft. I have dabbled in others, such as Star Wars, The Old Republic, and Rift. And the Lord of the Rings one, but that was a long time ago. And a couple of others as well. But the only one I've really been into is World of Warcraft. But now I would definitely say that Final Fantasy XIV, I've played, you know, the most second out of all of those outside of WoW. And I'm really getting into it. I am enjoying it, I've got to say. Looking forward to, you know, getting to max level and getting into the next expansion. Hiya, Bun Kitten. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, somebody shared a similar tip for me, Thunder Dragon, when I first started. That is, use the main scenario, quest to level up. And then when you go for other jobs and stuff, that's where side quests will come in handy, so that you don't run out of experience. Oh, that's awesome, Thunder Dragon, as well, that you're getting the first class edition. I'd love to get it myself. But I'm going to try and be sensible, and I'll probably just get the digital deluxe edition. That way, I'll be able to play it and start making videos for you guys as soon as it goes live. Right then. Do you prefer George Newburn Sephiroth or this new person? Is that the Dissidia one, is it? Or do you mean the new remake one? Between them? I haven't really got a whole lot of experience. If you're talking about Dissidia, because I haven't played it, I haven't got a whole lot of experience with it. But from what I'm remembering, he is pretty awesome in that. But I do like the new Sephiroth, or the design of him in the remake. So, the fact that he's actually going to be included in the game, it seems, even though it's the part of the game in the original that only takes place in Midgar, I think is a sensible thing from Square Enix, even though it could potentially destroy the mystery around that character that was a really important component of the original Final Fantasy VII, so I hope they don't lose that. But I do think it's a good design, and I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing Sephiroth in action. Did you like Final Fantasy XI Thunder Dragon? I've heard that was a real hardcore game. Yeah, I know, Roger. That's the thing, that's what I want. But, you know, seeing as I've got a family and stuff, sometimes I have to put my own needs to one side, I guess, in order to be sensible with the whole fundage situation. I should probably be reading this, but I don't read. I'm too old. They need voice acting. Yeah, that's a good point, Michael. You could probably skip out on the deluxe edition for now, couldn't you? Because eventually they are undoubtedly going to release a box set for it. Although, how long could that be? We don't even know how many parts the game's going to be. So it could be a while. But if you're patient, then yeah, that could be a good way of getting the whole collection. Oh, is it similar to 14? Is it Thunder Dragon? What do you prefer out of the two, would you say? Well, that's good to hear then, Wes. That's good to hear. Right, let me just try and catch up with some of your other messages here, folks. Oh, okay, Black Cat. Yeah, fair enough. At least you'll get to see the whole game then, won't you? And you're right, there's going to be a lot of videos on that game. Hi, Simon. Welcome to the stream, dude. Ah, okay. Is that like a new feature that was added in, is it, Thunder? Right, I see. So it never used to be soloable, but now it is. Well, that's interesting then. Right then, where are we? Let's go to map. Oh, got a bit of a mission to go over here, it seems. Yeah, that's right. It actually confused me at first in 14 with class changes, but I think if you just swap your weapon, then that effectively swaps your class, doesn't it? But right now I have to make do with this sprint command, since I still can't ride a chocobo, but I think I'm getting very close to doing so. Looking forward to it. I've heard you can also fly in this game now, although not in these regions, but in some of the expansion regions you can. By the way, greetings folks, and welcome to those that have just joined us on stream. Sorry I didn't really schedule this stream, so I'm sure some of you that are hearing this won't actually have been watching until the archive goes up later. But I should hopefully be back to a more regular schedule next week, since E3 will obviously be completely over. And all of the manic activities of uploads and stuff should be back to normal from then. Should be able to get some more live streams going and stuff. What was it on before? Was it on PS3? What is this? Is this a mount? I want it. The mounts in this game are just stunning. I really like them. They're far more... have like far more originality to them than the ones in World of Warcraft. You do get pretty cool mounts in WoW also, but a lot of them are just horses. Still, I suppose a lot of mounts here are just chocobos, and it's just the cool ones you notice, isn't it? Yeah, I am very tempted to get the physical deluxe relic myself, but I might just settle for the digital. Just because deliveries don't always get here when they're supposed to where I live, so I'm worried if I order the physical deluxe, I won't get it for a couple of days after release. And, you know, I want to make content for you guys. Oh, yeah, Michael. That'd be a bit ridiculous if that's what people are saying. Midgar is, at the end of the day, the single largest story point of Final Fantasy VII, isn't it? I don't think there's any other part of the game where you spend so much time there as part of the story. So, if they're going to have one part as a whole game, then Midgar is the place that makes sense. And then I suspect part 2 is going to cover a lot more ground than just the Chocobo farm. Or just the city of Calm, or the town of Calm, rather. But it'd be interesting to see how they incorporate the story and the characters as well into the story from the whole Final Fantasy VII compilation, since a lot of that was obviously added after the original game came out. Whereas now it's all there, so, you know, the developers can draw from that, and I think they will. They've said they will be. Oh, one sec. Oh, I think I need to get some antihistamines or something in me. Yeah, you do get rude people in WoW, Thunder Dragon. I think you just get them everywhere though, don't you, on the internet? Unfortunately. It kind of comes with the territory. Do I want that? I can't really tell because I'm still wearing rubbish that I probably don't need to be wearing now. I need to get rid of that. And legs. Nope, don't need it. So we'll go for the gold. Oh, man. I need this bar to be moving up more than it is. Oh, sorry to hear that, Thunder Dragon. It isn't pleasant. Yeah, definitely. Like Angeal and Genesis, Black Cat. I mean, they weren't really going to be present by the events of Final Fantasy VII. But there can at least be mention of them, or maybe, you know, flashback scenes and stuff involving them. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, if the stats are green, it means they're an upgrade. I just had to switch out of the quest items I was wearing because it was giving me false information, really. Yeah, I think that's sensible, Michael. Going through the rest of the events of Disc 1 of the original game, and then ending with the tragedy of Aerith's death. That would certainly make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? For sure. Right, present Minfilia's dagger to Mutamix at the bonfire. Yeah, I think they will be to some degree, Black Cat. I don't know about the first game. I mean, maybe they will be, but at some point during the project of the whole remake, I expect to be seeing them in some form. And also, Vincent, I want more done with him than was done in Final Fantasy VII. I thought he was a great character, but Square did admit that he was almost cut from the game, and that's why they never really finished development on him, and he ended up just being an optional character with a little bit of backstory, but obviously not very polished. And that has to do with the fact, I think, that Final Fantasy VII, a lot of people don't know this, but Final Fantasy VII was created and released all within the space of a single year. And for a big game, even back then, that was not a lot of time. Final Fantasy VII was actually originally going to be released on the SNES, a little bit like Final Fantasy VI with the same style and 2-bit sprites and stuff. But they scrapped that and began development again, right from the very beginning, completely from scratch. Even the story was different. And in that period then it took them a year for the game to get released, because that's all the time they had left. They had to make a deal with Sony. If they wanted to come to the platform, they had to release within I think within the launch of the PlayStation or something. So yeah, things like Vincent's characterisation got a little bit shafted, which is a real shame because he was actually one of my favourite characters. But hopefully the remake will correct all of that and really give the attention that a lot of these elements deserve that didn't really get it in the original game. Playable Jesse, Biggs and Wedge. Yeah, that'd be interesting, Michael. I don't know what their plans are going to be with DLC, but no doubt we're going to be getting a lot of it. Probably something similar to Final Fantasy XV, I'd imagine. Where am I actually going? Over here. Oh, see you later, Nintendo girl. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, they've definitely said that Final Fantasy VII is going to be... that each part is going to be the size of, say, a Final Fantasy XIII game. Why they are comparing it to Final Fantasy XIII, I'm not sure. But they haven't actually said how many parts there are. So even though there was 3 13 games, there might only be 2 7 games, or 3 or 4 or 5, we just don't know. I guess as long as they're making money, they'll keep churning them out. And no doubt once we've defeated Sephiroth, then they'll probably still churn them out if they're making a lot of money. Who knows? I guess it depends how long it takes for people to get Final Fantasy VII fatigue. Oh, well, that'd be a great birthday present for you. Alice, are you going to wait and play it on your birthday so you got something to look forward to on your birthday? Or are you not going to be able to hold off and just play it as soon as it's released? Yeah, that's another interesting point, Dark Cloud. Something that a lot of people have forgotten. Well, not forgotten, but just haven't realised. Is you won't meet the whole party in the first game. Unless they retcon how you meet those guys, which I don't think they will. Because that would just not work. The characters you're going to be able to recruit are going to be Cloud, of course, Barrett, Aerith, Tifa, Red 13. And that's it, isn't it? So you won't be getting Sid, Yuffie, Vincent, Kate Sith. Have I missed anybody? I hope not. Okay, well, there's still a few that you won't be able to get. That said, as somebody mentioned, there's an opportunity to expand the roster. So Biggs, Wedge and Jesse, They're obviously going to be present throughout most of the adventure in the first game, so they could be perhaps recruitable party members. Although, as somebody mentioned, they're probably going to be added as DLC if that is going to be the case. Yeah, it could be Black Cat. I mean, I'm pretty sure when they first made that comparison, Final Fantasy XV wasn't out, because that came out at the end of 2015, and I think the Final Fantasy VII Remake was towards the start of that year, maybe E3. So that was the game that they had at the time, the latest Final Fantasy, to compare it to, and they've kind of just stuck with it. But like you say, because that had 3 games in the series, it would just seem consistent, I guess, to compare another game that's going to be split up to that one. Right, what we got here? Yeah, it could be, Alice. I did a video, actually, explaining what I think the direction is they're going to go with the first game. And I expect Midgar to be an open world map. An open world city. Where the whole city is going to be explorable. At least that's the direction I hope they're going to take it in. Obviously, in the original game, you didn't have that. It was a very linear progression through Midgar. You could only go to the areas that the game opened up for you in terms of where the story would let you go. But they shouldn't have that restriction with the remake. So the first game really needs to give us the entirety of Midgar to explore as we want to explore it. So a little bit like Final Fantasy XV had an open world. I want the same thing for the remake of Final Fantasy VII. But of course, it's all around the city of Midgar. Hi Michael, not much is new for me. Apart from the fact that I'm fairly hyped about the upcoming Final Fantasy releases. Even the Final Fantasy VIII remaster I'm looking forward to live streaming this year. Just because Square have neglected that game for so long now. Do I think they'll include the Amiga weapon in the remake? I wouldn't be surprised, Michael, if we do get quite a bit of extra stuff in the remake. Sorry guys, I was just messing about on the web, which is why the game kept minimising them. But yeah, I guess we'll find out in a few months. I'll no doubt be talking about some of the extra things that we can come to expect. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you what, George by nature, I've forgotten all about. What was his name? Dio, is it? The guy that walks around in his swimming trunks? I think I'm going to have nightmares after playing that bit. I'm still on level 19 quests. No. Hang on, what? Where am I? Oh, okay, I need to teleport. Gotcha. Oh, is that the deluxe edition, is it, Cloud? Or is it the first class edition? Because I'll be jealous if it's the first class edition, because I can't afford that. But I think I'm going to get the digital deluxe edition. I won't really be jealous, of course. I'm only joking, mate. It'd be awesome if you can get it. I haven't actually finished Breath of the Wild yet, Wes. Which is something I would like to work on. I think I played it for about 15 to 16 hours, so I've probably barely scratched the surface of it. But there's quite a bit of Zelda stuff happening for Switch, isn't there? Including some, perhaps, remakes of the other games as well. Yeah, Pants Man, that's the one, Cloud. More importantly is how the heck are they going to do the dressing up scene with Cloud? Because in the original game, Don Corneo is utterly convinced that Cloud is of the feminine persuasion, but not just of the feminine persuasion that he is a hot lady. And I can tell you something, in HD graphics, there's no way sticking a wig on Cloud's head and putting him in a dress is going to make him anything like a feminine lady. So how are they going to pull that off without it just being completely stupid? It's got to be stupid, I get that, because the original was stupid. But it's going to be a tough one. I think they're going to end up probably offending some group. Either by changing it, offending those that didn't want it changed, or by not changing it, and then offending probably just people that think it looks stupid, or is not PC, or whatever the case may be. So I think Square have got a challenge on their hands with that bit. Oh, the first class edition. Well, that's brilliant, Cloud. Yeah, and what about all the bits in the Honeybee? Is it the Honeybee? What's it called? The Honeybee Inn? Or the Honeybee Palace? I can't... Oh, it's just gone from my mind. And you've got all of the men in their trunks just kind of perversely wandering after Cloud, calling him Bubba. I mean, that is utterly bizarre. It's certainly not a scene I like playing if I've got people in the room with me. And the thought of it in the HD remake, well, at least I can put it down to the fact it's a JRPG. So you kind of have to expect a little bit of weirdness like that. But how they're going to play it in the remake, I have no idea. Yeah, I've certainly come on board with it, Michael. A lot of people are not on board with it. Be careful, guys. If you're on the internet, voicing your opinion that you started to come on board with the whole game being split into parts. Because the amount of hate you will get, I've mentioned it in a few videos and stuff that I've uploaded. And trust me, being a YouTuber, you kind of get used to people just being utterly vile. But mentioning that you're kind of getting used to the idea of the game being split into parts, so many people have just sworn their heads off and have got really angry with that fact, as if you're some kind of Square apologist for them trying to make a lot of money. And I've already said, I don't deny the fact that they might be sponging the fans out of money, but if that's the way they're doing it, then that's up to them, and can I come on board with that or not? And I think I have started to appreciate the fact that we'll get to explore the game in a much bigger way than we did in the original. So I'm not sure yet, Dark Cloud. Somebody mentioned, might have been yourself, about the other Avalanche members becoming characters, so that could be something. I'll be annoyed if the whole of Midgar isn't explorable on release, but then it is explorable by the time all the DLC is released. So is it just said the stream's ended? Could anybody hear me? Okay, folks, well, I think I'm going to call it quits because something's just gone wrong and everything is coming up red to me at the moment. Can you guys hear me okay? I've got internet connection, decent internet connection, but it's coming through on the stream as red with video output extremely low. YouTube is not receiving enough video data to maintain streaming. As such, viewers are going to experience severe buffering. I think YouTube might be bugged, guys, because I've just checked my internet and it's absolutely fine. So I'm not sure why it would be coming through like that. Oh, hi, Scowie. Oh, everybody's saying the stream is fine. Oh, well, that's weird. That is really strange. I never understand the ways of YouTube sometimes, I'll be honest with you. Oh, look at this, level 20. A level 20 quest. So I'm getting excited because the quest where you collect your chocobo mount is a level 20 quest. So even though this isn't it, we must be getting close to it. Okay, well, we'll go on for a few more minutes. I mean, I do need to make a move at some point because I've got to cook dinner for myself and the wife. She's having a bath this evening, which is why I've been able to get out to do a stream. Once she's in the bath, she'll be in there for over an hour. But I have promised her I'll cook dinner this evening. Yeah, it's going good, thanks, Scabby. Oh, yes, Black Cat. I mean, I could move over to Twitch, but I have tried to do that in the past, but it's really difficult to get everybody to actually know about that. So I kind of feel like I'm stuck on YouTube now. Let's teleport over here. Well, we're certainly at the correct quest levels now to collect a Chocobo Cloud, but I don't know how much further into the main quest scenario we have to go yet. Yeah, that's true, Black Cat. There's nothing worse for me as a YouTube video creator than when things go wrong and I have to try and get in touch with YouTube support, because not only do I have to wait like days to actually get a response, but then the response you get, I don't think, and I've emailed them a lot over the last few years for various reasons, I don't think I've ever received a response first time from them that actually even begins to deal with the question that I raised with them, the issue that I raised. They just don't read it properly. Whatever copy and paste response you get from them, they didn't even read your question properly. It's annoying. Ah, okay, Scabby. Well, that's good to know. Oh, okay, Relic. Maybe I had a spike in my internet connection then. Maybe I'm blaming YouTube when it was on my side. When I just did a speed test, everything was fine, but perhaps it was just a blimp, briefly. And now everything's okay again. Well, let's see what happens. By the way, a lot of people were wondering about whether summons are going to be available in the remake. Based on the fact that you don't normally, in the original game, where you just don't, not normally about it, you just don't, get summons until you get to the Chocobo Ranch. But we know there's going to be summons in the remake because the actual deluxe edition comes, I think, with 2 extra summons. Carbuncle and Cactuar, if I'm not mistaken. So there's definitely going to be summons of some form in that game. But which ones, I'm not sure. Absolutely, David. I won't tell her you said that, but maybe I agree with you secretly. Yeah. I don't think we're too far away now, Scary. I don't know about Chocomog being included as a summon in the first part because it's kind of integral to have it given when you get to the ranch. Maybe the ranch would be in the first part, I don't know. Right, we're heading up north, are we? Alright guys, well I am going to take a break at this point anyway. I'm not going to head up north yet. So, I am getting pretty hungry myself. We'll need to get some dinner cooking, I think, sooner rather than later. Yeah, I think that's the way they work, Black Cat. Yeah, be interested to see how the DLC is going to work, Scary, in general. I hope they don't put too much DLC stuff into the game that should really be in there anyway. Nah, I'll keep it between us, David. Alright then, folks. Well, thanks for those of you that stopped by for the stream this evening. It's been fun. And look at all this progress we made for the last hour. We leveled from about here to about here. So got a bit of a ways to go yet to get to level 50 and get into the first expansion content. But we're making progress. Slowly but surely we are edging our way through the levels. So we'll catch up again, I hope, next week. I'll be streaming again. And hopefully catching up with some of the series that have been neglected the last couple of weeks. So Dragon Quest XI, I have got a couple of episodes recorded already of that. I'll be planning on doing more. And once I've done more, I'll begin uploading them again. And also Final Fantasy X. So if people are still interested in watching that, I'll continue uploading episodes for it as well. But I'm going to finish up for the evening, so I hope you all have a pleasant night. And I'll see you all next week. Yeah, have a good weekend as well. Cheers all. Take care. Goodbye.